Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Wrestling Talking the Shop, and today we're going to review the All In, the AEW All In 2023 from London, England, Wembley Stadium. And it's me, Jonathan, and my co-host, Lindsay. We just got through. It's a 4-hour pay-per-view, not counting the buy-in, 0 hour, whatever they call it, pre-show. But to be honest with you, we actually missed the pre-show. We bought it on traditional pay-per-view because when I bought it on BR Live before, it did a lot of freezing. So I actually still have cable. I haven't completely cut the cord. So I bought it on traditional pay-per-view. But I do have the results. Hook defeated Jack Perry, and MJF and Adam Cole won the Ring of Honor Tag Team titles from the Aussies, or whatever. The Aussies, they won the Ring of Honor World. And read a little report that CM Punk and Jack Perry had an altercation before CM Punk's match, backstage. That CM Punk, I don't know if he's worth the price tag. I mean, he's causing a lot of drama. But the show opened with CM Punk, Samoa Joe, Real World Championship match, and CM Punk went over.
Crowd was pretty 50-50.
Yeah, a lot of Joe crowd, a lot of people, Joe was, 50-50, And pretty good match. I mean, you can tell both guys got some age on them. They're not what they once were. I mean, but of course CM Punk's made of glass,
But Joe came in pretty heavy from the beginning. He was really, laying into Punk, and he busted Punk open really early in that match, and rolled him up for a 2 count. And he was kind of overpowering him like they do, and then Punk roundhoused him. He was down for a 7 count, and then Punk rolled him up for a 1 count on Joe. And then Punk went for a figure 4. And then Joe countered him into a roll and got a 1 count on Punk. And then he put Punk on the top rope. And then CM Punk into like a pedigree on Joe off the top. And then he pinned Joe for the 3 count. They call it a Pepsi plunge.
That's the Ring of Honor day.
Okay.
CM Punk come out wearing a ring jacket. That's sort of a throwback to the Ring of Honor. These guys, in Ring of Honor, CM Punk was never able to defeat Samoa Joe, and that's 2 back-to-back wins. One on Collision in the Owen Hart tournament, and one here on All In. And then we go on to match 2. What was match 2?
Jay White, Juice Robinson.
Oh yeah,
with the Gunn Brothers, and then Don Callis, and then Keshnick, and the Elite versus the Elites. Kota Ibushi, I always said it wrong. Kenny Omega. And then it started off with Juice and Hangman, and then they tapped in Kenny, and then this match, there's a bunch of them. It's all over the place.
Yeah, it was hard to keep up with everything.
Definitely hard to keep up with, but
she took 9 pages of notes.
Yeah, not even gonna lie. Actually, I think it was like 12. But anyway, let me see. They basically was everybody versus everybody. Jay White, and then let's see. Trying to read some of these. They're pretty. Ended up for Omega with the roll up and gets the victory over. Takeshita got Omega in the roll up and got the victory over on him. But a lot of Kenny Omega in that match. He was in it a lot.
Yeah.
Takeshita.
Takeshita reminds me of the guy from Bloodsport, the old John Claude Van Damme movie. He looks a lot like him,
Yeah, he does. And then
he's big, muscular.
And they had the Gunn Brothers in there a little bit trying to interfere, but they weren't really in the match much. Just kind of on the interference.
And the Golden Elite not the Golden Elite. Anyway, they got it's the Bullet Club. They got their own little Bullet Club name, but they ended up winning against the Elite.
Yeah.
And Keshna rode up Kenny Omega for the win,
and then Don Callis.
Yeah.
He's right up there at the end.
And then we got.
And then FTR versus the Bucks for the rubber match. That was a good match. The crowd was really into that one. FTR at a 144-day reign.
Still continuing.
Still continuing. Spoiler here. If you haven't got to watch it, sorry. But they had some new gear on. FTR had red jackets and black trunks. Everybody was repping the British flag colors. They had their names spelled out in the FTR on their butts. But
rear ends.
sorry. No. Anyways, pretty much all four of them got in the ring from the start. Matt was over the rope onto both FTR, and first super kick to Cash. Cash gets rolled up for a 2 count. Nick makes it to Cash, crawling to Dax, and then Matt super kicks Dax in the corner. And Cash is still in. The crowd's pretty split on the chanting. They're doing like FTR and Young Bucks and stuff. So, pretty split on that. And then, of course, they got a hot tag to Dax. And then both Bucks suplex. Let me see. They're suplexing each other. Dax, my handwriting's terrible. Dax gets 2 count on Matt, and then times 2. And then Nick's in versus Dax.
A lot of chain wrestling.
Lots of chain wrestling back and forth. Dax gets a sharpshooter on Nick, and then everyone's down. They both put a sharpshooter on. And then everybody's on the top rope, and then they jump off on each other. I forget what that move's called, but. And then Dax is back in, rolls up for a 2 count. Dax puts a pile driver on Nick, and then rolls over, gets 2 count, and then Dax accidentally knocks Cash off the apron, and they do a combo super kick to both FTR, and pile driver to Dax, get a 2 count by Nick, he kicks out. Nick gets 2 count on Dax. There's lots of rolling up back and forth. And then the Bucks try to get the BTE, and Dax ducks. And then FTR is on both Matt, and then FTR does the shatter machine, and Matt kicks out at 2. Matt gets a 2 count on FTR, and then the BTE on Cash, and he kicks out. And then Bucks get a 2 count on FTR, and FTR does the shatter machine on Matt, and then for the 3 count, FTR wins.
I was really hoping for the Young Bucks.
And the Bucks wouldn't shake their hands.
Yeah, I was really hoping for the Young Bucks to win, but, I like FTR too, but who doesn't like a title change?
I didn't think they were going to change it over this one. They're pretty hot. I mean, not that the Bucks aren't. Everybody likes
and
the
also,
Bucks.
FTR have armbands on Bray,
yeah,
Brody Lee, and Jay Briscoe.
Yeah, they were ripping that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Then we go on to...
That was a good match, though. It was a long match, actually.
Yeah, very long match.
A lot of back and forth. Crowd was super into it. Everybody was on their feet most of the time. So, but
then we go to...
It was a good match.
What was the 4th match?
So the 4th match, this was brutal.
This was a car wreck.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of wrestling.
The Stadium Stampede match with the Blackpool Combat Club with Santana and Ortiz.
John Moxley walked out of the ring bleeding. No way. It wasn't long after.
They all come out and they're like black people.
Yeah, they look like Bond villains.
Yeah. And they had the duffel bag full of stuff, which would later come out in the match. But and then so they went up against Orange Cassidy, best friends, with Penta and Eddie Kingston. And this match was really all over the place. It was really even hard to write that down. Eddie started showing Eddie charging Claudio, and they ended up out of the ring pretty much immediately and head off out into the foyer and stuff, and then Santa and Ortiz versus Penta, and then Eddie, and then goes back to show Eddie and Claudio out in the stadium. John Moxley's already busted open basically right at the beginning of the match, and Penta and Moxley. This was crazy. I thought this was insane. They pulled out, Moxley got into the duffel bag and pulled out, looked like some chopsticks or something, I don't even know, like some skewers out of the bag, and a big old handful of them. And he goes at Penta with them, and Penta gets him away from him and jabs him on the top of his head, and he's bashing him down in there, and you can see it pulling up his skull, the top.
He had a mask on.
Yeah, no. Penta was doing this to Moxley, John Moxley,
okay.
and you can see his scalp pulling up. They were
Ooh.
like stuck down in his scalp, and they pulled them. They were pulling up the scalp. It was so gross. I was over there like,
I might have been getting some birthday
yeah,
cake.
you were getting some cake, but it was really gross. I was over there like, oh my god, this is crazy.
I can do without all that.
Yeah,
blood
it was
and
really
stuff.
that was pretty gross. That was probably the grossest part of that whole match. But anyways, that was just crazy to me. But anyways, back to where I was at. And yeah, he's just like, those things are just like flopping in his head.
Yeah.
But they split screen it, Claudio and Kingston, and they're in the top of the stadium bashing each other through the crowds and stuff. And then they've got the docs checking on Penta. He's on the side of the ring. And then Orange Cassidy gets in the ring with Jon Moxley, and Orange Cassidy, he's ended up bleeding all over the place. And then Trent Beretta brings in a wire wrapped bat, and they're waylaying on Orange Cassidy with it. And then Santana and Ortiz throw Trent Beretta into the ladder, and Mox gets the barbed wire board, and he slams Trent Beretta on it. And then it's just everybody's bleeding, everybody's everywhere. It's kind of a train wreck.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, but they several times throughout the show they show that Mercedes Moné is in the crowd. She's in.
Yeah, they panned to her a lot.
Yeah, they panned. And, she was there even on the pre-show. She was panned to, and it was on YouTube. So if you're an AEW fan, I'm sure you watched the pre-show. But yeah, she was panned to a lot in the crowd.
So yeah, that was pretty interesting. Let me see. Oh, and then Sue rolls up in the white van, and she's got trays of cookies. Yeah. And so they're like slamming each other with
Jon Moxley kisses her too. Right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he kisses her. That was pretty crazy. And then let me see. Oh, the dark side of Penta comes out right after that, and he's on the ladder with Jon Moxley, and the ladder breaks, and then Penta's flipping off Chuck Taylor, and they get a 2 count on Wheeler Uda, and then.
Why would you flip off Chuck Taylor? They're on the same team.
Oh, maybe he's not flipping him off. Anyway, I think it's just he's flipping off. I don't know who he's flipping off. Anyway, maybe I just left it off there. Yeah. Next segment, Chuck Taylor gets a 2 count on Wheeler Uda, and then Claudio does the swing on Orange, and
Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, Orange Cassidy and Ortiz and Trent off the top rope onto the table. Let me see. I can't read that. Anyway, so Orange gets a 2 count. Orange gets a 2 count. And then Orange, he goes into the ring and gets out a bucket, and it's like he's got like a bottle, and he starts bashing the bottle in the bucket and wraps his fist with tape and puts it on it. Yeah, and he puts it on his fist. And I don't know what you were doing, something when that was on there. Anyway, and he goes after him with his fist taped all up. Anyway, and then they come out with the chair. Mox got a crimson mask. Orange's got a crimson mask. Everybody's bleeding.
Everybody's bleeding. It's like
everybody's bleeding.
It's a car wreck.
It's like Oprah. You're bleeding. You're bleeding. Everybody's bleeding. And anyway, and Orange pins Claudio for a 3 count. So that match was everywhere. It was interesting. Definitely everywhere. Let me see. And then the next match was the Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Championship. So, and then Saraya comes out with her whole family.
Queen, so We Will Rock You.
Yeah, We Will Rock You. I really liked her crown she had on. I was really digging that. So, she's repping British colors. Okay, got the flag on.
You could tell she was going to win the title right then and there.
Oh, yeah.
I knew she was going to, she deserved, she was the right one for the win. Glad to see her back. World champion again, professional wrestling.
Yes. And then Toni Storm comes out to let Freedom ring, and basically some lingerie, what she was wearing. And then Britt Baker comes out to her music, and then Hikirish, I cannot say her last name.
Shida, the champion.
Yeah.
Hikirish Shikita,
Anyway,
excuse us from Texas.
We can't say these names.
Yeah, we're bashing these Japanese names. Hira Shikita.
So, but basically they both go after Britt Baker.
Well, did you forget
at first.
DMD was in the match too.
I said that.
Okay, Britt Baker.
I said Britt Baker.
Okay. Sorry.
Anyway, back to my notes here. Let me see. Oh, so they're fighting over at first they kind of get Britt Baker down, and they're fighting over, Saraya and Tony are fighting over who's going to pin her. And then they're both going to pin her. Well, she kicks out of that. And then Tony accidentally hits Soraya's mom, and Saraya gets like pissed and starts going after her.
And her mom's pissed too.
Yeah, her mom's pissed. They're holding her mom back.
The whole family's holding her mom back.
Mom's about to come over the ring. So Tony's running around the ring, and then Soraya's coming in after her. And then they start trading licks, Tony and Saraya do. And then Ruby Soho runs out. Well, Tony ends up kicking Ruby, and so she decides to leave. I guess she decided she didn't want no part of that. And then Britt covers Tony. Anyway, Tony gets knocked out, and Britt covers Tony, and she kicks out. Britt puts on her glove. She fixes to do the mandible claw on her. And then
Ruby was concerned with Saraya.
Yeah, I guess
Soraya's
she's trying to
neck.
hold it back together. Hold the group together.
Yeah.
But and then Sheeta comes back into the ring and slams Britt on top of Saraya. And then Sheeta comes off the top rope onto Saraya, and she rolls Saraya up. Saraya kicks out for a 2 count, and then Britt tries to put the mandible claw on Sheeta, and she ends up getting it on her. And then Saraya is over there with Tony, and she rolls up Tony for a 3 count to win, and everybody goes crazy. The crowd goes wild.
Saraya's definitely a face here, and I'm sure she's turning face. I'm sure the Outcasts are probably on the way. They're gonna break up. But anyway, it was a good match for what it was. A lot of multi-person matches on this card.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I guess they tried to fit as many people on in the pay-per-view. Say a record for professional record attendance record. It was what, 81,000.
80. Let me see. Hang on, I wrote it down.
The attendance was.
I think it's 81,035 people.
And I think that's the actual attendance. I don't
They
think.
said it was for paid attendance, is what it said on there.
Yeah, paid attendance. So I assume that's not a worked number. That's a actual attendance number.
It said it was a new worldwide record for pro wrestling attendance.
The WrestleMania 32 attendance was 80,000 something. I can't remember what it was, but yeah. So
a lot of people.
Anyway, so
and you could tell when they panned the audience, there's people everywhere. So, but that was a good match. And then it goes into the coffin match with Swerve Strickland and Christian with Luchasaurus versus Sting and Darby Allin. And Sting comes out at the beginning and does like the Joker face and goes, "It's showtime."
Yeah. And throwback to his TNA days. That's when he was in that Joker phase in TNA.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was the coffin was part of the match too as well. It was everybody
yeah, the
beat up.
was a paid actor.
Yeah, he was definitely beat up. And
it was. They got to put that on the discount, so and they get rid of that one. It was well smacked around. But they kind of started out with Darby and Sting. They put on these thumbtack jackets.
Yeah.
And slam into Swerve and Christian, and then they jerked the jackets off of them. And Christian tapes up Darby's wrist behind his back. And Darby, man, he is athletic. I will give him that. He's a little guy, but he is athletic.
He's a stunt man.
Can you jump around with your wrist tied behind your back?
No, I can't.
I can't either. So.
Yeah, I can't jump around with my wrist not tied.
Anyways, and he moonsaults over Christian. He still got his hands tied behind his back. And then outside into the ring onto Swerve. And Christian Cage, he slams the lid on the coffin shut, and Swerve gets slammed into it. Sting's on the outside of the ring with Swerve, and Christian and Darby are in the ring. Christian hits Darby with the chair, and tries to do a chair sandwich on Darby's head, and he pulls out of it. And then Darby's on the apron, and Swerve's out on a table, and Sting climbs to the apron.
Sling.
Yeah.
Somebody's coming out of the back. Sling. You'll see him on Wednesday. He's a new competitor. Sting.
Sting, sorry, I can't talk today. You know, made me lose my train of thought. Anyway, Sting, he climbs up on the apron, jumps off on the table. Everybody gets pretty excited. You know, he's an old guy. It's a lot for him to do table jump.
Sting's not doing well. He is doing quite a bit. He shouldn't be doing that, but he is.
But anyway, it collapses the table, and then Darby comes off the top rope onto Christian into a chair. I don't know. He didn't kill himself doing that, but anyway. And Darby drags the coffin into the onto the side of the ring, like props it up. And they put Christian in it, and they can't get it closed. He's got something sticking, his leg sticking out. He's got his leg wrapped around it, sticking out. And Lucha runs out and, you know, saves Daddy Christian. And
Christian's
anyway,
a good heel. I like Christian better as a heel.
I do too. I think he definitely makes a better heel than a face. Nobody likes him.
I kept looking for Edge or Adam Copeland, I guess we should say. You know, I kept saying, well, Adam Copeland.
I know. Everybody kept saying he's going to be there,
but I never did see him. I was wrong there.
Maybe on
you
next
know,
show.
Yeah. Maybe he's going to actually retire.
He might. Probably needs to. But anyway, so Lucha pulls Christian out, and then they slam Darby onto the coffin. And then Darby's friend comes out. What's his name? The young one.
Nick Wayne?
I can't remember.
I think his name's Nick Wayne. Yeah.
Anyway, and he runs out with his skateboard, and Lucha, wears him out.
Luchasaurus ended up carrying Nick Wayne back.
Choke slams him
to the back.
Then, Break takes him back to the back, so they're both gone. And then Swerve's on top of the coffin, and Darby's on the top rope and jumps, and of course, you know, last second Swerve rolls off, and Darby slams into the coffin.
Yeah, coffin drops the coffin.
Coffin, yeah.
Coffin drops the coffin.
And then the coffin's got a big old dent in it then. And he hit it with his back there. So, but anyway, and then so Sting's in the ring, and he's fighting both Christian and Swerve. And Sting ends up putting Christian in the Scorpion. And
Scorpion leg lock.
Scorpion leg lock. And Swerve gets him in the corner. Christian pulls out a bat, hits him with the bat, and then Swerve gets on the top rope and jumps on to Sting. And Christian he's getting the coffin in the ring as this is going on. And Christian's beating up on Darby on the outside of the ring after he gets the coffin in there. And Swerve puts Sting in the coffin. And last second, when he's trying to close the coffin, the bat comes out, so he can't close the coffin on Sting.
Yeah.
And then then Sting climbs out, and Swerve slams Sting on the coffin, so that coffin hits really going, taking its licking.
Yeah, he like power slams Sting on the coffin.
And then on the outside of the ring, it goes to you seeing Darby, and he's got the TNT belt, and he hits Christian with it, and you know Christian's down, and then Sting does a Scorpion death drop on Swerve on the coffin and puts Swerve inside. And then at the last second, Swerve sticks his hands out
in the coffin.
That hurt too.
Yeah.
And
Sting's smashing it, and his arm comes out.
Yep, and then he gets his arms out, and then halfway out, and then Darby jumps onto the coffin, and they roll Swerve inside and close it to win. So that was pretty good.
And like I said, it was a good match. I mean, there was really no bad matches on this card. I mean, I like AEW, but I didn't think there was any bad matches on the card. But I kept looking for Edge, I like to see debuts,
Hell yeah, everybody gets excited over them.
And,
no crazy debuts for this. Tony, he likes to put them in there.
Yeah, Tony's the wrestler collector.
The collector. So, and then they start doing the promo for the next match, which is Jericho versus Ospreay, and that was a good match. Jericho comes in with Sammy, and Fozzie's playing his entrance, and Jericho sings his entrance.
Yeah, sings his entrance. I like it better when they play it.
Yeah, but the crowd was definitely into that.
I like the studio version better than the live version. But anyway, it was good.
It was good. It was definitely good.
Will Ospreay comes out. You can tell he's in his homeland, and his homeland supported him.
He's repping the big white fur covered jacket with the British flag on it. Yeah.
I thought, and Jericho he had a lot of heel tactics. It's almost like if Will Ospreay, he had Don Callis with him, but he was like the face of Jericho. You know, he played like,
Was like
the
a heel.
He low blowed him, and you know what else would you have to do?
All kinds of stuff. Yeah.
You know,
But
and then he had him in the lion tamer, and Sammy hit him, you know, and knocked Will Ospreay out. But and then Will Ospreay, you know, they did the whole arm drop thing in the 2. You know, he held it. But the right man won. Will Ospreay won. You know, I knew he was gonna win. You know, Jericho doesn't need to be winning against Will Ospreay. You know.
Yeah.
And then after the match, Sammy kind of tries to.
Yeah, he's trying to console Chris.
Yeah, and Chris is like, you know, pushing him off, and I think we're headed towards a Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho feud.
Yep.
And Chris Jericho needs to put Sammy Guevara over. It's time for Sammy Guevara to quit standing behind Chris Jericho, and start standing in front of Chris Jericho.
Yeah, I'd like to see him push him, even though.
Yeah, I like Sammy Guevara. You know, he's
a lot of people don't, especially since he got him a new woman. And that hurt him a lot.
Yeah.
Really, in the audience's eyes.
That's old news.
Anyways, yeah, it's not nothing new. So definitely a lot of Ospreay did a lot of Stormbreakers in this match. He did like 3 or 4 of them on for the win. That was what he finally got for his finisher as a pinfall. But it was a good match. It was a long match too.
Yeah.
And that was when they come out and gave the attendance record.
And after that, is that when they announced the attendance?
Mm-hmm.
And then that was what's that guy's name? Did you write his name down?
Who? Justin.
No, the guy. It wasn't Justin. It was
the guy that announced it.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I didn't.
What was your first page? I can think of these guys' names. He was a wrestler, British wrestler, Brazilian wrestler. Nigel McGuinness. Nigel McGuinness. Yeah. I can always think. Like I said, when I get in front of this camera, it's like I'm talking to a crowd of people. You know.
I didn't know who you were talking about.
My mind goes blank. Yeah. But anyway.
Anyways, then we went into the trios championship match with House of Black and the Acclaimed.
You knew who was going to win this one going in. I mean, I knew when I seen it announced. I said, "Well, we're getting new champions." But anyway, it was a good match. You know.
It was a good
you
match.
Read through some of your highlights?
It was a little bit everywhere. Yeah, I can read them highlights. Basically, they all come in and everybody split up and one-on-one.
Big guy, Billy Gunn went with Brody King, Malachi Black went with Max Caster, and then Buddy Matthews. Not Buddy Matthews. Is it Buddy Matthews?
Yeah.
Okay, I know it was Buddy Murphy in WWE. But Buddy Matthews went with Anthony Bowen.
But anyways, they start with Brody King's running into the fence when Daddy moves. They really put Billy Gunn over in this match. He looks good. He looks good in this match. I guess they were trying to, pump him up.
She thinks he looks good.
For how old he is, he looks good.
Yeah.
I guess, I'm not talking about that.
I know what you're saying.
I'm saying they made him look strong in this match. But
59-year-old Billy Gunn.
Yeah. Anyways, they threw Max Caster out and he hit the camera. I thought that was pretty funny. But Buddy and Malachi were in the ring with Daddy, and then we see they slams Malachi. Max rapid fire on Buddy, and all 3 of the House of Black was on Bowen. Rolls him up for a 2 count. The other Acclaimed interferes. Brody gets the chair and accidentally hits Malachi. And then Max and Daddy Ass back in, pins for 2 count. And then Julia pulls out Audrey, the ref, out of the ring.
Yeah,
Aubrey. But anyway, Aubrey out. And then Malachi, he pins Daddy for a 2 count. And all 3 House of Black tried Dante's Inferno. I guess that didn't work out. Claim he wiggled out of that. And Acclaim did the mic drop on Brody. And he gets up. And then Acclaim takes shots at all 3. And then they all 3 end up on top of Brody.
Billy Gunn, Max Caster,
for a 3 count. So.
And then after the match, the House of Black, I guess they turned face. They got the titles, and they lot squared up like they were going to wrestle and go at it again, and they ended up giving the titles to the Acclaim and Daddy Ass, and then they have the
Scissor Party.
Yeah, Scissor Party. You know, and it'll be a good. Billy Gunn deserves it. You know, he's doing good for.
Yep. So.
And then we head towards
the main event.
The main event.
MJF versus Adam Cole, baby. And then so it says MJF has a 281-day title reign.
I don't know who's going to take that title from MJF. I'm sure at some point they're going to go to a CM Punk versus MJF champion versus champion, decide who the real world champion is. But I can't see I would keep the title away from CM Punk.
I would too.
I don't really know.
See him give it to CM Punk
well, I mean, every time he gets it, he gets hurt. You know, and I'm not saying I don't know. He's older now. He doesn't need to be a world champion anymore. CM Punk's a maiden name. I don't know who. Usually, I can tell you who the next world champion is going to be, but right now, I don't really see anybody.
On
the level of the devil. Anyway, and we'll go on to the highlights.
Adam Cole, he comes out wearing Ring of Honor tag belts, and the lights go out, and they show everybody's cell phones lit up or whatever. And MJF comes out on a throne with his devil mask and a purple robe, and he's got both belts on. He's holding the Ring of Honor and wearing the AEW World Championship.
And the referee struggles to get the robe off of...
yeah, it was so funny.
Yeah, it's sort of... You can tell MJF was kind of frustrated, but he kind of pulls his arms out, you know.
He's trying to get it off of him. Somebody needed to let that loose a little bit for him. But, and then, so they start off the match, and they both go to the side of the ring and put on their Better Than You shirts.
Yeah.
So, I guess they're trying to show they're still buds. But, so that was, and they start, chain wrestling back and forth. They're slinging back and forth. And then MJF pokes Adam Cole in the eye and then offers the hand up to him, and Adam Cole slaps MJF. And then Adam Cole hides behind the ref and stomps MJF in the corner. Adam Cole's choking MJF, and then Adam Cole pulls MJF's hair and slams him down, so MJF does it back to him. And then MJF's gonna go over the top rope because Adam Cole's over off on the side of the ring, and he holds back, and Adam Cole ends up coming back in the ring, and then super kicks him. And Adam Cole pulls the shirt off of MJF, and everybody's like, "Oh, is he fixing to turn heel?" And MJF gets mad. You see him kind of hulking up a little bit.
Yeah.
He's getting ticked off, and Adam Cole gouges his eyes, and then he goes off, and Cole goes to super kick him, is reversed, and MJF gets him up in the corner, pounded on him. Everybody's counting to 10. And MJF bites him, and then Adam Cole rolls out of the ring, and MJF dives in after him. And next page, let me see.
Page turn.
Page 11. MJF throws Adam Cole back in the ring, and gets a 2 count on him. MJF rolls up Adam Cole. They roll back and forth. He's done that in several of his matches where he'll roll him up. I think it was like Hangman match. They did that a lot in. And Adam Cole jumps, and I don't know where he jumped. I'm assuming off the top rope, but I write that down. And MJF rolls him up for a 2 count. And then they're both down for a 7 count. And then Adam Cole suplexes MJF on the steps, knocks MJF out. And Adam Cole, he runs back into the ring, and the ref's counting. And MJF runs and dives back in the ring on his back right before it gets to the 10 count. So. Oh yeah,
Adam Cole is concerned that he's hurt MJF at this point.
Yeah.
He's sort of,
he's kind of feeling bad a little bit.
And I figured that MJF is, but he rolls back into the ring. Right,
yeah, just the last second, he was like, cling, eyes open, rolls in, or just comes running in, really. And then right there, and then MJF rolls out of the ring immediately, and then sneaks up on Adam Cole and trips him as he's getting out because he's concerned about him, I guess. And then MJF puts Adam Cole for a tombstone on the announcer's table, and then I guess he feels bad about it, so he puts him down. And then Adam Cole does the reversal and does the tombstone on him.
Yeah, Adam Cole You know, he doesn't.
The announcer table, he didn't feel bad about
And
it.
then the announcer table it didn't break. You know, usually you're used to these things breaking, and you know, if you watch wrestling anytime, it didn't break. And then the announcer said, "Well, it's
There's a steel beam.
yeah, there's a steel beam in it. You know, and he's hurt. You know, he's hurt." So
Yeah.
then he rolls him back into the ring.
So yeah, he puts MJF back in the ring and rolls him up for a pin count, and then he only gets a 2 count.
Yeah.
So MJF flips Adam Cole with kicks in, and they're both down, and then it's a double clothesline. Yeah, they both get down.
Oh, I
and
guess
they come up for a double
Oh,
clothesline.
okay, I missed that part.
And then that's right there when they no, you didn't.
Oh.
Anyway, they did a double clothesline,
Is that when they did
and
the
that's
draw?
when the ref said they call the bell, and everybody's pissed or freaking out, and they're like,
It's a draw.
It's
you
a
know,
draw, and
You know
they're
it's
so
not
mad.
going to end in a draw. This is pay-per-view. You know, 80,000 people.
yeah,
Yeah,
everybody's
but,
booing.
You know, it's just part of the
But-
story.
And so Adam Cole says, he says, we need 5 more minutes.
You know, they did that on
Ask
TV.
MJF.
They did that on their TV when they had their draw. And MJF said no.
Yeah.
And then
And-
MJF says, we're going to go
Until we have a winner.
yeah.
He's like, we're going to go all freaking night until we have a winner.
And this is when the match gets good.
Yeah, this is the best part. Yeah. And Adam Cole knocks out the ref. And so MJF gets a chair, and they like toss it back and forth between each other, like
Yeah.
playing hot potato with it. And then the ref's starting to wake up a little bit, and Adam Cole like lays on the ground. MJF has the chair, and
He
he's
puts his
looking
head
at
in
him.
it.
Yeah, and so MJF puts his head in the chair and lays down. So
Yeah.
when the ref turns around
Sort
and
of
sees
an old
him,
Eddie Guerrero used to do a sort of thing like that.
yeah,
you know.
it was pretty funny. I liked that part.
And then, of course, then the ref gets up. Adam Cole saying, I didn't do that. He's faking. But then MJF rolls him up and gets a 2 count.
The 2 count on him. And then Adam Cole does a straight jacket on MJF on the apron. And then Panama Sunrise on the floor on MJF. And then they get back in the ring, and Adam Cole is going to do the Panama Sunrise on him, and MJF pushes the ref in the way. Well, he rolls up the ref for the Panama Sunrise.
Yeah,
Knocks the ref out.
I
That
thought
was good.
Some people are going to hate that, but I thought it was good.
Yeah. And then Roderick comes out
Roderick Strong.
and kicks MJF.
And then Adam Cole he
He takes advantage of
he
it.
takes advantage of it. Yeah.
And does the Panama Sunrise on MJF.
Gets a 2 count.
Yep.
Well, the ref is knocked out from the.
Yeah, the ref's still kind
And
of
then
knocked out.
comes. I mean,
But he's got.
it's a Bronco
MJF.
Lubitsch, slow count. You know, I thought, man, we could have counted 20 by here. I thought another ref was going to run out, but.
Yeah, no, another ref never ran
But anyway,
out,
he gets the drama
got him.
2 count.
Yeah, he's got him in the 2 count, and then he kicks out of it. So, and they split up, and then Roderick's in the corner, and Adam Cole's in the other corner. You know, MJF's across from him, and Roderick's screaming. He throws the championship belt to Adam.
This belt.
And, yeah, this one right here. Except for it's the lighter colored strap.
Yeah.
Anyway, and tells him to do it. He's like, just do it, hit him. And Adam Cole takes his Better Than You shirt off.
Yeah, and you think, and it even had me believing. I thought, he's going to win the world title here. He's serious.
Yep. And anyways, well, he throws the belt down, tells Roderick to get out.
I thought that was after the fact. Oh, okay.
Tells him to get out. And then
Directly after that,
and like
MJF.
right when this is happening, he gets distracted, with Roderick. It's like, get out, and MJF just sneaks up behind him, rolls him up for a 3 count, and wins. And then Adam Cole's like crying in the corner. He's all upset about it. And MJF goes over to him, and he's like, they still love you. And the crowd's like, going crazy. And
Adam Cole throws the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship out of the ring.
Yeah, he goes and gets the championship and gives it to him. He's like, here, they still love you. And he gets mad and throws it.
Yeah.
And anyway, and then MJF's like, you're not even my friend. You didn't even love me.
This was all for the world title.
It was all for the title. You didn't care nothing about me. And he's all mad. And then throws.
He says he gives him the championship belt. Says here. He turns his back to him
he
like
turns
this.
his back and he's like, hit me.
Yeah. And then you got Roderick Strong on the corner of the apron of the ring.
Yeah,
and
he's
saying,
still there.
do it, Adam. Do it, man. Do it, Adam. Do it. And he throws the title down, and then they hug it out.
Yeah, and then they hug it out.
And
everybody's happy.
Yeah, Roderick Strong, you can see that.
He's mad. Slinks off.
Yeah, and then Adam Cole, and then fireworks go off, and
confetti flies.
Yeah, and they announced that they're going to do it again, August 25th of 2024, Wimbley Stadium
next year.
And that's it.
Jonathan really wanted to go.
Yeah, I wanted to go. I didn't have no.
We don't have our passport.
Yeah, I didn't have a passport.
So.
And, we may try to go next year.
Yeah, I guess we have enough notice.
And
we could go next year, maybe.
It's all in now. We're headed all out next Sunday.
So yeah, one up, one down.
Yeah, one up, one down, and we got payback Saturday. Like I said, there's more wrestling on TV now. I couldn't imagine having this much professional wrestling when I was a kid. We had Mondays and Saturday night, and then eventually we got Thursdays, Thunder and SmackDown. But we know this is probably not the most polished review out there,
No, I'm sure.
But we're gonna try to incorporate modern wrestling into us talking about vintage wrestling. And thank you, Lindsay, for writing 4 hours worth of notes.
You're welcome. Now I have to go ice my wrist.
And we hope you enjoyed this, guys. And you made it this far. Thank you for watching.
Leave us a comment. Tell us what your favorite match was if you made it this far. And
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Have a good one.